Hey everybody, it's Up and Adam here. Wanted to highlight some things that I picked up at the Virginia Vintage Comics and Collectibles uh, uh, con or comic book show. I don't know what you want to call it there. They only have one creator guest, and I'm going to try to see if I can put some footage from it that I shot right before this part. But I wanted to show you my pickups. So I would say most of these that I have here, um, I got for about $3 because there was Sheldon from Heroes brought his stuff up, and he initially put out a bunch of long boxes and said everything in here is $5. And so I'm like, you know, moving through a little bit, and I'm like, $5 is not bad. There's some decent stuff here, but I wanted to kind of look around. And then when I came back around, they were just like emptying long boxes and making like these stacks of comics that you were trying to like hold and sift through. And then he's like, everything's $3. So I was like, ooh, okay. So $3 is kind of changes changes some thoughts on some things. So I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to get a stack here. So I was going through a whole bunch of stuff. My friend then, I got him to come over. He started on one end kind of after me and was like following through with things that he needed to pick up. So it was kind of fun, but got a group from that. But then there were some things I got from um, other dealers. But most things were like $5. And then I have a few things I'll show at the very end that were like bigger keys, but still got amazing deals on this. So they do the show once a year, typically in August. And vendors come from all over, and people come from all over because there's a lot of older books. Like if you're, there's not a lot of new stuff. There was like one vendor there that had, looked like some whatnot stuff he was trying to sell. Um, but most of it was uh, bronze and earlier kind of books. So that's probably what you're going to see with a lot that I picked up. So without further ado, here we go. First book, uh, Amazing Spider-Man 181. Got some great villains here. I love my boy Doctor Doom right there. Um, but yeah, this is one of the $3 ones. Couldn't go wrong with that. Any Spider-Man almost that you can pick up for $3. You should. 191, 193, and these are just ones I didn't have in my collection. 233. I got a few annuals. Some of these I used to have, but I thought it's not bad to pick up annuals. It's usually not what I some people don't like to collect all the annuals when they're doing a whole run. They don't worry about the annuals. I usually do. So I was thinking like, if I extend a run or something like in ASM that I have, better get some annuals. So I got number 11. I don't think anything of these are keys by any means. Number 17 and number 18. Um, then I got a book that I have never owned, but this, my friend Rich from Big Nasty Comics, is a big fan of the Badger. And I used to read the Badger, but it wasn't this early. I used to read Badger and Nexus, but I didn't get right at the beginning with that. But I got a Badger number one, so I'm going to give the number one a try. Um, it's a Batman family with Joker's daughter at the time. Um, another $3. Who doesn't want another $3 Frank Miller Daredevil? So it's great. Pick up. This I was thrilled to get because I've been looking for this one for a little bit. It was Mongol. So we had Philip Kennedy Johnson at my local comic shop, and with that, Philip Kennedy Johnson kind of sold me on getting the War World Superman, and I really liked it, and it kind of got me into getting into Mongol a little bit. So I was glad to pick up that one. I have the like two others right around this that kind of talk through that story. Then I got this Swamp Thing Saga. It reprints some of the Bernie Wrightson. Um, Swamp Thing issues. There's three issues printed in here, but it does have the Batman one. Was it number seven? I want to think. I think it's like five, six, and seven that might be in this one. I have all the original Swamp Thing running rights in, but to get the reprint with a different cover, I mean, with the similar cover is one of the other issues. Is a good one to get. Uh, I picked this up too. This is an upgrade for me, but this is a second appearance of Wrecking Crew. So I want to get that. This is a cover I've always loved. It's Detective 566, um, but it's such a great Rogues Gallery in a Rogues Gallery, if you think about that. Um, just wonderful uh, book. I'd love to do like a recreation and leave these boxes open and have different artists do their versions of it because it's really got the perfect grouping in there. I was thinking of my friend Dope and picked this up at a vendor. It's a Ghost Rider, but it's got his one of his favorites villains in there, the Orb. So I picked that up. Also, like I said, I always also try to get the annuals or giant sizes. Starting to work. I had a Tomb of Dracula run, traded that. Now I'm kind of working on getting it again, and so I got a giant size Dracula 2 and 3. Um, it's beat up, but I had to get a House of Secrets that it didn't have. Just love that cover. And then my friend was like, "Hey, do you have this? You need to have this little Frankenstein action on an Iron Man 101." And then I got some decent Man Things. I got number 2 from the first series, first volume. Number 9 for $2. um, and then I got a 19 and 20, which I'd been kind of looking for just because I wanted to see this connection with that group. I mean, Spider-Man, Daredevil thing, and Shang-Chi is kind of an interesting combination to go against Man Thing. So pick that up. Then I got this Marvel Collector's Items Classics, number 17, which is really just reprints, but I love the Doctor Doom cover, so I was like, I'm gonna pick that up. Um, I got a Marvel Spotlight, Son of Satan on there. And then I got several books as I'm working on getting Marvel Team Up and trying to finish that run. So these were some things that filled holes for me. 37 with Manwolf, 49 with Iron Man and the Wraith, 60. I just picked up a 59 recently as well. 73 with Daredevil, 76. I love this cover. Doctor Strange, all the tarot cards in there. And then a 142 with Captain Marvel, which is fun. Then I got this was another a $3 one, but it's first Black Goliath. Number 7, which is the first full Anubis that's on there. Can't go wrong with a $3 first issue of Supergirl. Then I got the Swamp Thing. This is known as the period issue. So once a month, all the women turn into werewolves. So it's just known as that, but it's a great Alan Moore book. So I'm excited to read that. A couple of other Tomb of Draculas. I picked up 38 and number 40. Triumph of Dr. Sun. So this is a good story. I remember that one there. Then I had almost a whole run of this in my hands, but I put a few things back and ended up, I was like, got to get the number 1 Richard Corbin cover, Twisted Tales number 1. And the big thing I was trying to look for while I was there, and there wasn't a whole lot that was there, which I was kind of disappointed. That was affordable. I was trying to get them kind of cheap. But I did get this Werewolf by Night number 11. Love that cover and the transformation. 27 Scourge of the Soul Beast. That was such a crazy cover. Love it. And number 30, it's cool, like, skull in the moon or however that is happening. Um, and I got a Wolverine. I'm slowly thinking about getting the first 50 of Wolverine. So this was kind of the first one that I needed in that run, number 4. I think it's the first appearance of that guy. Uh, I can't remember his name, but it might be Bloodsport. And then I just thought this cover was cool. Surrender or command my females to kill your friend. So I like how he's just, he's talking just kind of normal, whatever that creature is. But I just was like, cover's so cool. So I picked that one up. And then the three biggest books that I picked up, um, and got great deals on these. So you can kind of see Adventure into Fear with Man Thing, number 19. But this is the first appearance of Howard the Duck. I'm not a huge Howard the Duck fan, but when I'm working on runs of things, like this was in there, and it was only $40, and it's probably like $100 book or more. So I was really glad to get that. Um, I have just recently discovered, didn't really, I wasn't a big collector of DC comics, I've never been, but really been enjoying looking and finding these, excuse me, um, these Nick Cardy covers, and he did some amazing work with Aquaman. This is the second appearance of Black Manta, and probably known as like one of the best covers for Black Manta, but just an amazing book. Got it for $20. And then the thing I was most excited about was uh, this first issue with Man Thing, Volume 1. So for $30. Haven't been able to find one that cheap, definitely. Probably another $100 book for this condition, but $30 was really excited to get it. So that's what I excuse me. Had to get something to drink there. So that's what I picked up this week. So let me know what you liked and what I picked out. And like, would you have gone as crazy on on deals? There was a lot of stuff that I passed over. In that $3 that I was sifting through, there was about a whole run of that second volume of Swamp Thing. Not a lot of the keys or anything in there, but a big chunk, and that was very tempting to go down that run. But I was like, no, I got this other stuff that a little bigger priority for me right now. So I went through that. And then there was my friend really racked up on getting some great deals. The same place where I got the Man Thing, the Adventure into Fear, and that Aquaman. He had some crazy books that were super cheap. So he came home with like a Batman 251, ASM 122, um, first Guy Gardner, the Speedy Does Heroin issue. I mean, there were some great books that he pulled from there, and there was a whole lot more that I could have grabbed as well, but just very limited on funds. But it's always a great show, and you can always find some good deals. So let me know what you thought. And this is really cool because I thought it was a neat con for just digging through long boxes, and takes you back to you know the late 80s, early 90s when they'd have something like that at a mall or a VFW or something like that. So it's a really cool thing that we have in Virginia. So check that out next year. Right now, I think they only do any kind of advertising or announcement of the event really just through Facebook. But they have a Facebook page, which I'll put at the bottom there. But anyway, I hope you're doing well. and make sure you flip through a floppy. And I will check you again in my next video. So take care, everybody. Bye bye.